Let's start. Unit 20. Number 1. Human beings do not enter the world as competent moral agents. Nor does everyone leave the world in that state. But somewhere in between, most people acquire a bit of decency that qualifies them for membership in the community of moral agents. Genes, development, and learning all contribute to the process of becoming a decent human being. The interaction between nature and nurture is, however, highly complex, and developmental biologists are only just beginning to grasp just how complex it is. Without the context provided by cells, organisms, social groups, and culture, DNA is inert. Dina. Anyone who says that people are genetically programmed to be moral has an oversimplified view of how genes work. Genes and environment interact in ways that make it nonsensical to think that the process of moral development in children, or any other developmental process, can be discussed in terms of nature versus nurture. Developmental biologists now know that it is really both, or nature through nurture. A complete scientific explanation of moral evolution and development in the human species is a very long way off. Unit 20. Number 2. The practice of medicine has meant the average age to which people in all nations may expect to live is higher than it has been in recorded history, and there is a better opportunity than ever for an individual to survive serious disorders such as cancers, brain tumors, and heart diseases. However, longer lifespans mean more people, worsening food and housing supply difficulties. In addition, medical services are still not well distributed, and accessibility remains a problem in many parts of the world. Improvements in medical technology shift the balance of population, to the young at first, and then to the old. They also tie up money and resources in facilities and trained people, costing more money, and affecting what can be spent on other things. Unit 20 Exercises. Number 01. In one experiment, participants in a wine auction were asked to write down the last 2 digits of their social security numbers before bidding. Although these numbers were essentially random and certainly had nothing to do with the value a buyer should place on the wine, researchers nevertheless found that the higher the numbers, the more people were willing to bid. This effect affects all sorts of estimates that we make, from estimating the number of countries in the African Union to how much money we consider to be a fair tip or donation. Whenever you receive a solicitation from a charity with a suggested donation amount or a bill with pre-computed tip percentages, you should suspect that the requester is anchoring your initial estimate of what is fair by suggesting amounts on the high side. Even if you subsequently adjust your estimate downward because, say, a 25% tip seems like too much, you will probably end up giving more than you would have without the initial suggestion. 25%. Unit 20. Number 02. In the current hyper-competitive, advertising-polluted environment, you pay more and get less for your marketing dollar, which means that it costs you more to attract customers than ever before. Yet you are likely putting the majority of your marketing dollars into some form of local mass advertising. You might use your daily newspaper or other print media, local broadcast or cable television, radio, billboards or other outdoor media, and, most likely, you're in the yellow pages. Each one of these traditional advertising media has suffered an erosion of its effectiveness. This downward trend, coupled with the ever-increasing proliferation of marketing choices, is likely to continue. Realizing that your local mass media has lost some of its muscle, you've probably experimented with other forms of marketing, such as the internet, direct mail, telemarketing, sponsorships, event promotions, and even handing out pens, coffee cups, and t-shirts with your logo on them. Despite all this investment in your marketing, you've probably not been happy with your results. The end. Good job.